What's happening? Hello everybody, welcome to Adam Matic TV. Sunday, no live Sunday show today. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm very busy at the moment, I've got a lot going on, so I'm just trying to utilise what time I've got and get content still out to you guys there. And let's be honest, I think we've all known that this season, well, for a while was going the wrong direction, and I think it's time to wrap it up. You know what, Champions League was finished last night. Let's not all laugh, because as much as that was enjoyable not seeing Liverpool win, they're the team that actually were getting to finals and actually were competing for trophies on all fronts. We got nowhere near, so let's just keep this all United based and not really take the mick too much, because we've got no right to. We can laugh at the result, and yeah, good that they didn't get the quadruple, good they didn't even get the treble, and it is a bit of a whimper of a finish for a season for them. But like I said, our season in comparison is absolutely night and day, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves, let's not get carried away, because the reality is we are shocking, and that is this season. Guys, this is a breakdown. We're going to go through a few categories. Let me know in the comments if you think that or agree with what I'm saying. I'm going to go on it on my personal journey of the season in terms of how I seen it going to the games and whatnot. You guys let me know from your side of things, from if you were at certain games, if you're watching certain games. We're going to break down the bad and the good of the season in different categories. Let's get into category number one. Category number one, which is, for me, let's start positive, shall we? Game of the season at home. Home performance of the season, home moment of the season, whichever way you want to break it down and put it across, as like that time when you actually felt like something was happening, that moment when you thought that could turn a season, anything like that at all. It doesn't have to necessarily be on the pitch either. It could have just happened at that game for you. But for me, home game of the season event, what happened, the unveiling of Varane and the win against Leeds on the opening day, the weather, everything just came together that day. And yeah, we can go into performance and dissect it and do what we want, but at the end of the day, we beat Leeds 5-1 at Old Trafford. There isn't many better days than that. A packed house, crowds back at Old Trafford for the first time, first full attendance in well over a year after COVID. The weather was great, like I said. Varane was unveiled on the start before the game even started. It felt like we were turning a corner. We'd made investment in the summer, and Varane walking out with that shirt, everyone was buoyed. The atmosphere was amazing, and we won 5-1. It was one of them games where you just went happy, because you just thought, wow, we finished second the season before. This is it. We're going forward here. I was in my new seat that I've been moved to again at Old Trafford. I met some great people around where I sit, and we're in the same seats again next season. Looking forward to that. Me and Alfie back at the game for the first time together in a while, post-COVID. So yeah, there was a lot on that game, and it just felt really good. It felt good inside. Everyone walked out of Old Trafford that day absolutely on cloud nine. And it did feel like a moment. It really did. It felt like, wow, what a start to the season, and we have got a lot to look forward to. Little did we know what was coming and what would happen in the season. But at that moment and that particular time, that was very, very important, and I thought was massive. And for me, definitely goes number one, best home game of the season, just for the whole set of reasons I give out there then. I do think that was the moment. That was the one high that I can say no one is going to take away from me. I know how I felt then. I know how I was feeling when it happened, and the game and afterwards. And like I said, it was brilliant. It was an absolutely awesome weekend that weekend. And yeah, I'm always going to remember that one from last season. That was one of my happier ones. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Worst home game of the season. My God, this could be anything. But, come on. If you're a United fan, which I'm guessing you most are on this channel, then there's only one game. I mean, and we are literally picking between a few here. There are some catastrophic performances at Old Trafford this season. There really was. And honestly, Liverpool at home is never going to be beaten in terms of the utter humiliation and an absolute catastrophe of a day for Manchester United on and off the field. This was the game when fans were walking out at half time. This was the game where after about 60, 70 minutes, we were actually half empty stadium. The opposition fans, the Liverpool fans, were singing Ollie's at the wheel. It felt like the wheels had completely come off. And I did say, I mean, we'd had some bad results before that. I thought Ollie's time was up after the Leicester game, to be honest, before that. But you know what, that Liverpool game, the fans' reaction to that was something else. That was horrific. That was really bad. That's the worst I've seen at Old Trafford. That beats 6-1 City, hands down. Because we went down to 10 men early doors in that game against City, and they just hit their straps and they took advantage of 10 men. But that Liverpool game, first half, it was over. And we was 11 against 11. So you got to look at it and you got to go, United v Liverpool at home at Old Trafford, being 4-0 down out the game before we'd even got our half-time drink or whatever. That's an embarrassment. That should never, ever happen for Manchester United. And let's be fair, if it does happen again, then the alarm bells will be ringing, because new management and everything coming in now, you'd expect a little bit more organisation. You'd expect more from Manchester United in this sort of fixture and be ready this season coming. If that happened again, then that would scare me more than anything. It really would. That would be the ultimate low for Manchester United. But I cannot see that happening again. Not on that scale. And it's the worst. It's the worst game for me. And there's been some bad results for United, but you always knew that we would bounce back or deal with it. But everyone knew that, and this is why fans were walking out. Everyone knew, and that was the game when the fans really started to turn. They really started to turn. The realisation was creeping in that, oh shit, all of a sudden, these players really do not care. How can you be so bad? How can you not have any self-pride to actually even make an effort in a game? And that's what that game was. It was horrendous. I'll never forget it. It'll be one of my worst memories as a United fan. Watching the old enemy destroy us and be on a different planet altogether. It's like I said at the start of this video, let's not laugh too much at Liverpool, because we are so far behind them. Let's say 9-0 behind them in terms of aggregate score home and away in this season. So we got no room to laugh at all. We're in a completely different state of affairs and a completely different level of shitness. It's the only way I can describe it to what Liverpool are. And I know they're feeling bad right now, but yeah, Liverpool at Old Trafford, definitely number one in worst home game of the season. Do you agree? Okay, the journey continues. Here we go. Next category would be the best away fixture of the season. Obviously, there's not many, I'm going to be honest. The best one on paper was the one game that I didn't go to this season, which was Leeds United again, away from home at Ellen Road. First time back at Ellen Road in God knows 19 years it was. It was lashing it down. It was proper Lancashire, Yorkshire grit. And United came out on top, 4-1 again. Yes, another 9 goals against Leeds in a season. Happy. Was we turning a corner at that point? It did feel important. It felt like, you know what? The players stood up to the atmosphere, the occasion. And that's where we'd buckled quite a lot of times this season. You thought, you know what? Maybe. Oh yeah, false hope, as a lot of this season was with United on certain fixtures. But we got that win. That can't be mine though, because I wasn't there. So, what was mine? Oh, I mean, we've had some absolutely horrendous away days this season. I think picking the away day, the worst away game of the season, is going to be a lot easier. Well, not actually, because there's a lot to do, but I'm going to go with West Ham away, just because of that moment at the end of the game. It was interesting because Ronaldo, bang, got us back in the game. Then we had the incident where Jesse Lingard who played for West Ham, came on, scored the winner, what turned to be the winner, top bins in our end. And there was like jubilation. It was brilliant. It was an atmosphere. The weather was nice again. It was nice and warm. Early season sort of vibe. And at that stage, I think we'd won four of our first 5 games or something like that. We were right up there, comfortably in top 4. I think second, somewhere around that region when we beat West Ham. And you're thinking, oh, we've got a bit of grit about us, bit of determination. Then Mark Noble, the penalty. David Moyes, clever clogs, sending Mark Noble on. First touch of the game, and De Gea saves his first penalty in God knows how many games. And the away end was off the scale. You can imagine the scenes. I was right there in the middle of it, and it was epic. To see the look on the West Ham fans' faces, it was just one of them moments where you went, oh my God, yes. That's what you go around the country following your team for. Them moments are brilliant. And actually at that stage, you think, like I just said, we were well up there in the league, comfortably, in terms of points as well. We'd had a decent enough start, but it was after this game where it all started to go peak tongue for United. So I'm going to put this as my best, because we'd had 2 average results at Southampton and Wolves before that, where we took 1 point and then 3 points at Molineux, not playing great. It wasn't fantastic against West Ham, but better, and we won. So first 3 games of the season in terms of away from home, two wins and a draw. It's not too bad. And you're thinking, right, all right, we're settled, we're in. Obviously Ronaldo had signed by then. We backed up the Newcastle win, and it looked all right. It looked good. So I am going to say that West Ham away was definitely my best away game of the season as a travelling fan. Because I'm trying to remember the other games. They weren't leading great. They weren't. You could say that Tottenham away was a good one. 3-0. Probably the most comfortable away win we've had all season. That stadium and everything that there is about that place, which is awesome, by the way. You do have to go and see it. You really do. Everyone says it on TV, but until you go there, different level. Brilliant. But you know what? That was at a stage when it was like in between the Liverpool and the City defeats. And we're sort of like, is that a false dawn? It was a poor Tottenham team who were also ready to ditch their manager. And it was there as the one who lost was the one who lost their manager. It was the sack, El Sacco, wasn't it? That's what it was, that Spurs game. But West Ham, just for that belief again. And like I said, a lot of my best games came in them first 2 months of the season, when you had a little bit of hope. And that's probably why, because the rest of the season pretty much demoralised me. But yeah, best away game of the season, 100%. Going to go West Ham away. I thought was brilliant the way that game ended, and everyone walked out of there bouncing again because of how it finished. And that's what good away days are made of. So West Ham away, do you agree? Let me know, people. Okay, here it is. The worst away performance of the season. Now, get your scrapbook out. You've probably got a long list here, as long as your arm, of away performances by United. Oh God. Well, I said it before. Then I thought, you know what, that Leicester game before the Liverpool game, that was a sign of like, and when I give up, when I thought, you know what, Ollie, you're done, completely done. This is beyond now. You've lost him. Then you could add Watford to that, when it all really did go and hit the fan for Ollie. Obviously, what happened in the stadium with the fans and the reaction with the players and Bruno and Ollie, when that was poisonous that day. I didn't think I'd ever feel that low. And then I had the rest of the season. I mean, being sat in the City end, just to be able to watch this team absolutely capitulate against Man City and deal with the City fans, that's up there. He had the Brighton recently, 4-0 away from home to Brighton. I mean, he's very, very difficult to pick. And I know you guys and your decisions are going to be different because you're in a slightly different position to me. But me personally, has to be sat in with the City fans. The love of this football club that I have, and the lengths I will go to watch my team, is there to see, for everyone to see. And my commitment to this team, I love this football club. I do, with a passion. And that, for me, was like the ultimate letdown. It was like, and I wasn't far away from the United fans section, actually. I could see the United fans. I could see that emptying United away section on a Manchester derby. and it emptied against Liverpool as well. And that was up there again. Another horrible, horrible day. Night even on that one. But I got to go simply City because we had a little bit of something there. We fought in the first half a little bit. And we had something thinking, right, use that now. But then just to fall off. And I think for me, basically, because I was in with the City fans and it was harder to take. I think that's why it takes it. You guys may think Brighton, Liverpool, Watford, Leicester. Could be any of these games. Could be any of them. I mean, Crystal Palace on the last day was a shocker as well. I mean, we lost 6 away games in a row. The fans' reaction and the players' reaction at Everton away, that as well. Do let me know what you think, guys. I'm going to go with City simply because I was in with their fans. And that's what takes it, because there's been some moments and it was hard to pick. It really was hard to pick which game was the worst one away from home. But personally, because of that reason and the humiliation I had to suffer at the expense of my football team in a local derby, that's why that one was the most painful one for me. I will really be interested to know what you guys thought yours was in terms of away games this season, because some of you may have been watching it abroad, watching it on TV. Some might have been at that game, might have been your first game, like it has been for a few people I spoke to this season. Let me know what you think on that one. Let me know which one it is. I'm really intrigued on this one more because there's so many. Was it Watford? Was it that fan reaction and the player reaction at Everton? Palace on the last day. Brighton 4-0, my God. Leicester, the capitulation. Let me know what you think. The away one is the creme de la creme because that's when we've suffered. We've suffered a lot, to be honest. But I do believe in the away games. This is where we've been absolutely atrocious this season. So let me know, guys. Get your comments in below. City was mine because of what happened in that game for me. I mean, I don't think they'd done a Posman for 18 months or something like that. And then, well, I go in that end. And then they all turn around, start bouncing in front of me. I was like, end this now. Please, God. It was horrible. But yeah, that was mine. Let me know what you think, guys. Get your comments in on the worst away performance of the season. Okay, I'm going to wrap this one up. Most poignant, most important moment of the season. And this isn't going to be on a game. This is going to be like, and you can go two ways with it. You can say the worst thing that happened, the most important thing that happened, like the best thing that happened for you. Like that wasn't quite football related. It involved football, obviously, because it's United and it's part of the club. But that moment, I'm going to name a few now, just so you guys can actually get back to me in the comments and see what you think. Obviously, the first one is the Ronaldo. Ronaldo coming back to Old Trafford. That day at Newcastle, the atmosphere going into that stadium that day was as electric as I'd felt any United atmosphere in years. That was massive. And you know what? He has done a lot this season for us on and off the pitch, which is going to change the face of Manchester United going forward. And Ronaldo deserves credit for that. I do believe that Ronaldo was the issue for Ole that he didn't want. And the fact that Ronaldo came in and went, what the hell is this? Because Ole would have had Varane and Sancho, and he probably would have been happy with that. Going along, he could have carried on playing the way he wanted. But Ronaldo coming into that team, and Ronaldo obviously having to start games, and we had to play to Ronaldo's standards. He came to win. And what he saw and what he did, and that interview was quite poignant of Ronaldo's about players not listening to him as well and taking his advice. That was massive. Ronaldo definitely is one there for me. You guys choose from this selection. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked too late, in my opinion. That was massive. And you can roll Ralf Rangnick into that if you want. But Ralph's a little separate piece for me as well, because Ralf has basically carried on the work that Ronaldo started at the start of the season. And by that I mean he has outed the players that needed outing. He has said no to the way that Manchester United has been. And he has fought back against the club in all of this. And in the end, you got to look, yeah, on the pitch it probably got worse. And the record books will say it got worse. But there's no way that a man with his philosophy wouldn't be able to get that across at Manchester United. Yeah, maybe the club was too big for him. He didn't expect the ego trip that was at Manchester United and handling that, which Ole probably did better, but just wasn't good enough tactically and managerially to take us to the level we thought or the level that we thought Ole should be going to the next season. He'd hit his ceiling, Ole. That was the problem with Ole. It was working for him, but his level wasn't good enough for Manchester United. Rangnick's maybe his experience in managing wasn't ready for United at all. But you expected a team to actually come together and listen just for the sake of 6 months. But we didn't. But then what Ralph did after that, in bringing the players through the likes of Elanga because he listened in training. And yes, some players have come out and said, yeah, he's brown-nosing the manager, he's a suck-up. Well, no, he listened and he played. And United fans took to Elanga. And he has been a breath of fresh air at times. He's fallen off. I have criticised him. He's had enough games now to know exactly what's required at Manchester United. And he's fallen off like a lot of players. I do believe that that is one of the biggest things this season. The Ralf Rangnick appointment and what it may have done in terms of how this club moves forward. Solskjaer wasn't good enough to go to the next level. Top 4, best he could do. Rangnick, in the end, managerially was the wrong appointment because he wasn't able to handle these players. Would anyone have been able to handle these players? I have no idea. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. And then, what's left? The last one. Because it did happen in the season. Manchester United made the right decision. And we got Erik ten Hag in. Now, that is left to be decided whether it is the right decision. But on paper, right now, United haven't gone with the obvious. And is that enough for you to take your most important moment of the season? They're the 4 I'm going to go with, guys. First one being Ronaldo coming in and the impact that he had on and off the pitch. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacking, Ralf Rangnick's appointment and what he did. And then in the end, Erik ten Hag coming in a week before the season finished. And you may think, yeah, old Ten Hag, proof is in the pudding. There's no way of knowing yet. But is it important that Manchester United finally changed tact in terms of handling their managerial appointments? This was the best that was out there. And United went and got him. Now you could say, Adam, well, we should have just gone and got Conte. We thought, well, Ole was there. I would agree and say, yeah, that's probably right. But it didn't happen. This did happen. And United made the right decision. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. That's pretty much my season roundup. Yeah, the live shows will be back. I've just got a lot on my plate at the moment, guys. Appreciate all the support, all the messages, all the DMs on my socials also. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a ball of a season. Not a great one. But onwards and upwards for next season, everybody. I'll be there every game. And we have got a lot coming up. Trust me on this. There is an awful lot coming up. I will keep you posted as always, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share and subscribe. Adam Matic TV. I'm out of here for the season. But I will be back. Transfer silly season has already begun. And there's lots going on. Check me out on United Stand as well, always. There's different things coming up on there as well. Some big things as well, guys. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.